Do you ever meet comics who don't know how to turn it off?
100, almost all of them.
Yeah, because what I love about you is we could have a whole conversation. If people didn't know you, they may not know you're a comic because you're not trying to be funny every 5 seconds.
Yeah. I have no compulsion. I just sort of like want to be.
Yeah, I mean, the bit about don't send me information about your testicles was brilliant. But apart from that, it's not like...
Yeah. I'm not here trying to like, what's the funniest thing I can say about not using my phone?
Yeah, because I would imagine, you go on Conan O'Brien or these big shows, you've got a certain amount of time, you've got to be really funny.
Yeah.
But then you've got these long-form chats that people like Joe Rogan and others do, where it's really nice when people can just sort of relax and just... I remember watching... Rogan's interview with Brian Regan, and it's just so cool just to see Regan just chat.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know he was a comic necessarily just from...
I think the best comics, I think one thing to not forget as a comic, because I've seen comics who are so funny, funnier than me, world-endingly funny. Like, I would say, like, for me personally, I want one big laugh a minute. Yeah. Sometimes more for an hour. That's a big ask. And I'm going for it. I've seen comics crush, like total, like they're doing jokes that aren't landing because people are laughing too hard from the thing before.
Wow.
Top to bottom. Killers. And no one remembers them. No one follows them. Because you can be the funniest person ever, but at the end of the day, people aren't going to remember that you made them laugh. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And laughter is in the moment, but it's not a lingering feeling. It's like, I liken it to, I think comedy and horror are like one and the same. So like, what's the best scary movie? It's not the movie that during the movie you were like, ooh, and you jumped and you were like really scared during the movie, but afterwards you're like, that was a crazy movie, right? The scariest movie is the movie that maybe only scared you a little bit during, but then later on you're in your room and you go, I'm gonna run to the bed after I turn this light off right now, that's the scary movie that gets you. And so the comedy that gets you isn't the comedy that kills you in the moment, makes you laugh a lot. It's the one that makes you remember to feel good. People remember how you make them feel, not what you made them do necessarily. And so with my comedy, I always want people to remember how I made them feel.
Yeah.
And so I always think about that. I don't really know like what actions I take in order to accomplish it, but I think by just having it in my head and being conscious of it, it helps. Because I do feel like for some reason my comedy, which is very goofy and surreal in a lot of times, like does make people feel over the long term, which is like, that's the best. When a joke makes you laugh for years or just makes you feel good. Like I love those.
And what's random too is I'm sure it's different for everybody. But there's a few things you've said that you probably, I don't know if you realize that would be the thing.
No.
So for me, it is all holds barred.
It is all holds barred. Yeah.
I love that so much. You said that so perfectly. And every time I think about that, I laugh. And I don't even know why it's funny.
Yeah.
I guess it's because I don't know what no holds barred means.
Yeah.
I never really thought about what that might mean. So when you say it's all
holds barred. Yeah. That's a fun line. I didn't think people have like talked to me about it or just like we're the alligator boys now.
We're the alligator boys now.
I thought that was kind of a corny
world's
throwaway line.
Toddler.
He leans back and starts unbuckling the world's ugliest toddler.
Yeah. And people remember that, and I'm like, whoa. It's like there's this Office joke where they're all pretending to have guns, and they're pointing at each other, and then Dwight goes, mine are crossbows.
We're all gonna put down our guns.
I have crossbows.
I think about that all the time. I'm always like, mine are crossbows. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I love jokes that linger in your life. And so how you make people feel is so much more important than making people laugh.
Yeah, I wonder what that means. I'm trying to think that through with you because it's sort of like if I liken it to food. There is a certain food that gives me immediate pleasure, but then maybe I regret it or forget about it. And then there's a food that's wholesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so in a way, like the reason people like Michael Scott is because they care for him.
Yeah.
And they see themselves in him. They see the ways that maybe they've tried to be liked and haven't been, and they've felt lonely, and they've meant well but have been misinterpreted. And there's an affection you feel for that character that it goes deeper than just a quick, cheap laugh.
It's like the difference between like how a food makes you feel and how a meal makes you feel.
Okay.
That meal has so much more, right? It's not only the food, who I shared it with, where I was, why I was there.
Yeah.
You're like, I remember that meal. But like, you could have the best ice cream in the world and you're just like, that was good ice cream. You know what I mean? That's just a food, but you want a meal. Like I want to serve people a meal.
I love it.
You know?
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.